name is Mason, and welcome to Mason Zero ASMR. Today, I have bought another $12 3-pack of cards from Target, on which I will probably lose money, but that's okay. I don't mind, because I get to open Magic the Gathering, which is always fun. So, here is today's box. I should move this cord out of the way, probably. There we go. Okay, so we have an Darko World Render from Fate Reforged, our promo card, which is not optimal, but okay, I already opened this up, so let's take these out. So we have our foil promo, a Darko World Render, a 7 mana, 6/4 legendary creature dragon with flying and trample. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, it gains double strike until end of turn. Sorry about that. So first up we have Dragon's Maze. Unfortunately. But Dragon's Maze is always fun. You could get a Voice of Resurgence, or you could get complete crap. So let's give it a shot. Alright. Dragon's Maze. We have Riot Piker. 1 and a red for a 2/1 creature, Goblin Berserker. First strike. Riot Piker attacks each turn if able. Boros Cluestone. 3 generic for an artifact. Tap. Add a red or white to your mana pool. Pay red and white and tap it and sacrifice it. Draw a card. Rakdos Drake. 2 and a black for a 1/2 creature Drake with flying and unleash. You may have this creature enter the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. It can't block as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. Runner's Bane. 1 and a blue for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature with power 3 or less. When Runner's Bane enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Viashino First Blade. 1 and a red and a white for a 2/2 creature. Viashino Soldier. Haste. When Viashino First Blade enters the battlefield, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Opal Lake Gatekeepers. 3 and a blue for a 2/4 creature, Vidalcan Soldier. When Opal Lake Gatekeepers enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more gates, you may draw a card. Liev Decree. 1 and a white for a sorcery. Detain up to 2 target creatures your opponents control. Sinister Possession. 1 black for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks or blocks, its controller loses 2 life. Pilfered Plans. Target 1 a blue and a black for a sorcery. Target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Draw 2 cards. Crawl Warrior. 1 a black and a red for an instant. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain. When this creature dies, it deals 2 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Trostani's Summoner. 5 a green and a white for a 1/1 creature elf shaman. When Trostani's Summoner enters the battlefield, put a 2/2 white knight creature token of vigilance, a 3/3 green centaur creature token, and a 4/4 rhino creature token with trample onto the battlefield. That doesn't seem too terrible as long as you can get to 7 mana. That's 10 power. Some of it with vigilance or trample for 7 mana across 4 bodies. Blaze Commando. 3 a red and a white for a 5/3 creature minotaur soldier. Whenever an instant or sorcery spell you control deals damage, put 2 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield. And then our rare is Pontiff of Blight. 4 and 2 black for a 2/7 creature zombie cleric with extort. Other creatures you control have extort. Well, not a great pull, but this will definitely go into my Alicia Who Smiles at Death commander deck, because he's got 2 power. So yeah, and we have an Orzhov Guildgate, all flavorful, and a tip card. Well, what do you expect from Dragon's Maze, right? Next up we have some more dragons, this time Dragons of Tarkir. I love Dragons of Tarkir, but there's not much good left in it, but we can always get Galactic Company. And that's just about worth it. Still played Modern. Marsh Hulk. 4 and 2 black for a 4/6 zombie ogre with Megamorph for a 6 and a black. Kindled Fury. 1 red for an instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Sandstorm Charger. It's 4 and a white for a 3/4 beast with Megamorph for 4 and a white. Sipsig Icebreakers. 2 and a black for a 2/3 zombie. When Sipsig Icebreakers enters the battlefield, each player discards a card. Colossadon Yearling. 2 and a green for a 2/4 beast with no abilities. Durgar Nemesis. 5 and a blue for a 6/5 serpent with Defender and Megamorph for 6 and a blue. Naturalize. 1 and a green for an instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Silumgar Butcher. 4 and a black for a 3/3 zombie Jin with Exploit. When Silumgar Butcher exploits a creature, target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Custodian of the Trove. 3 generic mana for a 2/5 artifact creature golem with Defender. Custodian of the Trove enters the battlefield tapped. Sandcrafter Mage. 2 and a white for a 2/2 creature human wizard. When Sandcrafter Mage enters the battlefield, bolster 1. Our first uncommon is Sight Beyond Sight. 3 and a blue for a sorcery. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library. And it has Rebound. Dramoka's Gift. 4 and a green for an instant. Bolster 4. Our last uncommon is Silumgar Monument. 3 generic for an artifact. Tap it to add blue or black to your mana pool. Pay 4 and a blue and a black, and Silumgar Monument becomes a 4/4 blue and black dragon artifact creature with flying until end of turn. And then our Dragons of Tarkir rare is Deathmist Raptor, a mythic, one that was very good when it was in standard. Deathmist Raptor is 1 and 2 green for a 3/3 creature lizard beast. It has Death Touch. Whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, you may return Deathmist Raptor from your graveyard to the battlefield, face up or face down. It has Megamorph for 4 and a green. And we have a basic plains and a 1/1 goblin token. Okay, not bad. Won't complain about a mythic even if it's not great anymore. It was good once upon a time. Maybe some people are still playing it. Our last pack is Shadows over Innistrad, which I was kind of surprised to see in this pack. It's the newest thing I've seen in there. Let's crack it open. Our first card. Our first card is Thraben Inspector. Thraben Inspector costs 1 white for a 1/2 human soldier. When Thraben Inspector enters the battlefield, investigate. Silberland Snapper. 5 and a blue for a 6/6 turtle. Silberland Snapper can't attack unless you've cast a non-creature spell this turn. Militant Inquisitor. 2 and a white for a 2/3 human cleric. Militant Inquisitor gets +1/+0 for each equipment you control. Moorland Drifter. 1 and a white for a 2/2 spirit with Delirium. Moorland Drifter has flying as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Kessig Dire Swine. 4 and 2 green for a 6/6 Boar Horror with Delirium. Kessig Dire Swine has trample as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Macabre Waltz. 1 and a black for a sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. Firehound. 3 and a red for a 2/3 elemental hound. Trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Firehound. Might Beyond Reason. 3 and a green for an instant. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Delirium. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on that creature instead, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Rancid Rats. 1 and a black for a 1/1 zombie rat with Skulk and Death Touch. Our first uncommon is Essence Flux. 1 blue for an instant. Exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it's a spirit, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Haunted Cloak. 3 generic mana for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature has vigilance, trample, and haste. Draftstone enters the battlefield tapped. Tap it. Choose a color of a card in your graveyard. Add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool. Our flip card is Pious Evangel. 2 and a white for a 2/2 human cleric. Whenever Pious Evangel or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. 2 generic and tap it. Sacrifice another permanent. Transform it into Wayward Disciple. Whenever it or another creature you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. We also have a basic island and a wolf token. Alright, there it is. Thank you guys so much for watching me open these packs. They weren't great, but it was still fun. I will see you in the next video, and let me know what you want to see down in the comments below.